Welcome back to Tunehype.com. It's Nefu. I want to talk to you guys about a question that I was asked on YouTube. So make sure you guys smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. And this question was, can I make a video about transitioning from having your music on SoundCloud to making money off your music? So you're going to go from SoundCloud to making money in the music industry from, so I guess if you're with SoundCloud, you're probably not making any money. You're just making songs for free. You're just uploading and people listening to them. And now you want to make it into a career. You want to make money from your music. All right. So if you guys want to learn more about that, stick around for the whole video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. In the comments, make sure you drop a question if any questions arise, because I can make more videos about that, guys. And also, I'm going to shout out the guy who made that question. His name is Young Prince 907. Thanks for asking the question. I'm going to go ahead and get you going with this. So basically, as far as SoundCloud is concerned, obviously you're not making money on it. And you could actually make money on SoundCloud if you released it through a major outlet. But at the end of the day, it's not going to make you too much money. So what do you want to do? First thing, I'm going to give you a couple steps that I would take to start seeing money coming in from that. I would take that music and then go find a distributor, a decent distributor who can put your music and publish your music in different places. Like I would go straight to Spotify. I would go to Apple. I would go to Deezer. I would go to more platforms, first of all, because SoundCloud is cool and you can upload directly to them. That's cool and all, but you need at some point a publisher who can get you in larger stores online, digital stores. So that's the second thing. That's the first step I would do right off the bat coming out of SoundCloud is take your music and go distribute it with a real distributor who can help you get your music out. Now, DistroKid and CD Baby and TuneCore are the normal ones that people normally use, but you could do your research and find other kinds of distributors and whoever you feel is best for you. I'll probably make a video about all of the distributors that I know that you can upload and just make like a super video for that. So people probably want to know the other companies that exist that probably nobody talk about other than just the first three that I just mentioned. So I'll make a video about that soon. But for right now, let's just get back to this. So what is the simplest way? Let's say you don't have fans. I'm just going to assume that you don't have any fans yet. You got some fans, but you just don't have enough. And, you can't really do any shows right now because you don't have any fans. So we're just going to start from that. I'm going to assume that an artist is in that position. I'm not going to assume that the artist has 20,000 followers and all of that good stuff. I'm just going to assume that the artist doesn't have any type of following or any fan base. So what could you do to make money right away? I would say the most lucrative thing you could possibly do to really jumpstart a music career from zero like that would be to get a music licensing deal by making really, really good music for, let's say, a video game release or a movie or a TV show. So what I would do is go around submitting songs for movies and TV shows and video games. And the reason why is because these people don't really care how many followers you have or if you're even big or not. They just want music for their content. They make a movie or a TV show or a video game and they just need music for it. And if your music fits the situation, then you're in there. That's all they care about. And what's so great about that is the moment that you get a placement, okay, once you get a placement in a video game, in a movie, or in a TV show, you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars. So you're going to be getting $5, $10, $20, $30,000 checks coming from the release of that commercial product. So imagine if you got your music on a blockbuster movie, or if you got your music on the next Grand Theft Auto 6. A lot of artists were inserted in Grand Theft Auto 6 who I never heard of at all. Like, you never heard of them. There's a lot of genres. There's a lot of different people that show up on there because they have in Grand Theft Auto a radio station. And that radio station, they have like a full radio on there and they have like all the genres. And there's a lot of other video games like that, like not just Grand Theft Auto, but like Need for Speed does that. Madden does that. Those sports games have music. So I would go around searching for A&Rs that can help you with video game or movie or even TV placements, music licensing. You can even reach out to a company that does music licensing. You can do a search for music licensing companies and see if you can't strike a deal with these guys. And like I said, they're not going to be really too worried about how many followers you have, because that doesn't really matter. So long as the song is good enough. That's the most lucrative thing I can think of to get you some big bread. And then once you get that big bread, then you can come and get you some marketing and build your followers up. And then you can start selling your music. Plus, once you show up in a platform like that, you'll be able to get some PR, and you'll be able to get a lot of your fans to like really support you, and you'll get a lot of fan discovery from that. Another thing you could do is get your music on Pandora. Pandora is a music discovery radio type situation. A lot of people don't really talk about Pandora very much, but the way Pandora works is it automatically finds people who would like your music, and it pushes it to them. And you can get paid from Pandora. Pandora is like a really decent radio. You have to sign up with Sound Exchange if you want to get paid from Pandora, and places like Spotify. You want to make all the money that you could possibly make from all the different countries, then you want to do that. But what you also need is a BMI or an ASCAP account. You need to register your music with a pro so that they can collect that money for you. Because if you don't have the pros and you don't have that money, then you'll be hard pressed trying to get that money from those placements that you showed up on. So ASCAP, BMI can go collect that money from those TV shows and those video games that your music showed up in, as well as the platforms such as Spotify and stuff like that. So if you just put your music on Spotify, but you don't register with a pro, good luck getting money out of them. You're not going to get too much money, because no one's going to represent you and make sure that you're actually getting exactly how much you're supposed to be getting. So that's the next step, is to make sure you register with all of the associations, and register with you want to register with the associations and register with all of the rights groups that help you with your digital rights, intellectual rights, and stuff like that. You also want to register with MediaBase and Nielsen SoundScan. You want to encode your music in case it shows up on the radio. And I'm saying that to say that if you do give your music to DJs and stuff and they play it, well, if you're registered, then they have to pay you for that, if it's registered. There was a situation with 3 6 Mafia, which you might have heard of them, Juicy J and those guys. Well, for a lot of years, when they first was doing their music, they were releasing all kinds of music and they were getting all kind of radio play. And then like years and years and years later, come to find out, these guys didn't even have the music registered the right way. So they missed out on millions of dollars in radio spins because they didn't have their stuff registered. They actually got the radio, but they just never got paid for it because they didn't register it the right way. So somebody screwed up on that one. It was a goofball. It ended up in the news a long time ago. But for the most part, you don't want that to happen to you. So register your music everywhere so that you can make sure you get paid. Now, I'm from Detroit, man, and I used to grind. I used to stand outside and sell my CDs on the street, and sometimes I couldn't afford food because my mom lived in a whole nother state, and I was basically by myself living on my own. I was like 17, so I used to make my music, and I used to stand out and sell CDs. Now, I know right now that's not something that people are going to even do or buy from you, not necessarily. I mean, people might still buy CDs, but not really, right? So since we can't really stand outside and sell CDs anymore, what can you actually do? What can you do? So what I would suggest is that, you start working on building up a following by doing shows. I mean, the sooner the better. I mean, this isn't going to get you quick money right away, but at least if you start going to these open mics and you start building a following, you're going to have more people listening to your music so you can get those royalties coming in. And, for the most part, that's like the free thing you can do is just go do some shows. And eventually, I mean, if your music is good enough, someone's going to book you for a show somewhere. And then if you got enough people coming to see you after a little bit of time, you'll be able to shut that down and get you some money. The other thing is, if you know a lot of people and you're kind of popular already, you can always book a show for yourself. You can just go buy out the door, create some show, get a couple other artists to perform for you, and pretty much just go do a show, but then sell out the door and make you a couple grand that way. And that's like what I used to do in Detroit when I really, really figured out how to do that and just start paying for my own door and my own club and just book it myself and then bring the other artists to showcase for me. And then when they brought all the fans, I just show up and perform for them. And then the whole idea was to take their fans. But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody support each other's music. So that's one thing. The other thing you can do is collabs. I mean, I know people are going to want to do songs with you. If your music is really good, people should want to do songs with you. I would put in my bio, hey, dropping verses for the low. I mean, you have to put yourself out there. Don't be ashamed to say, hey, I'm out here in the studio. Work with me now before I blow up and get hot. That's what I would say. Tweet something out like that at least once a week. And you're going to get a response from somebody somewhere down the line is going to say, well, how much are you charging for a verse? And you can just charge 200 or 300, 100 or whatever just to get the ball rolling. And the thing about doing a lot of collabs is that once you got 30, 40, 50, 60 collabs with all these people, you're going to start gaining fans because these people are also doing music and they're running around doing the same thing. And if you have music online with all these people, you're going to start gaining a lot of royalties. So the fastest way to get a lot of money from the royalties is to do collabs with a lot of people. Now, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but if you just whore your music out, you're going to just look like you ain't doing nothing. A lot of people want to come out and be like Drake. The moment they come out, they want to be superstars. Everybody doesn't have, $10,000 a month coming in from a TV show to just jump up and be a superstar immediately and pay $100,000 for a record deal. So what you have to do is you have to build from the ground up. You have to build your name up from the ground up, and you have to make yourself important to people by having a fan base. And once you have that fan base built up, you can make money from your music by selling merch and, all that other stuff that you can sell, and doing shows. So I have a situation where we'll be paying artists to perform at colleges, and that's coming very, very soon. If you want more information about that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop a comment. Let me know you're looking for paid shows. And if you're looking for paid shows, I'll definitely reach out to you. And you guys can email us at music@tunehype.com to submit your EPK and stuff like that for the paid shows and stuff like that. And don't just add us to some mailing list and then just spam us to death with a bunch of stuff. Just kind of always do a real submission with us so we can see who you are. And we might even add your music to a playlist if you're submitting your music. But for the most part, we can get you some paid shows, and that'll be another thing you can immediately do. But you do kind of have to have a few shows under your belt, and you do have to have a little bit of social media because they're not just going to let you, perform at the colleges if you don't. So that's for the artists that actually do have a fan base and are actually a little bit established. But if you're a brand new artist and you don't have any fans, nothing whatsoever, then the only other thing I could think of that make you get some money off of your music is selling the music itself to somebody, like a label or a publishing company. So how that works is you make a really, really good song that you may or may not have the money to promote or blow up. But because it's a really good song, you could sell that concept of that song to another artist or to a publishing company or even to the label. So what you want to do is you want to take that record, you want to hit up a publishing company, let them know that you're a songwriter and you make songs and you would like to have access to somebody who you can submit your music to for consideration for certain artists. And they'll let you do that. And if you submit a good enough song, you'd be surprised that you might get a phone call saying, hey, we really like this record. We want to go ahead and give you such and such thousands of dollars to release that record to us. Or, in your first time around, go on and take the money, get you some bread. But after so long, get you a lawyer and you guys can start negotiating a bigger amount, because once you got some songs that you have sold to the publishing company, eventually 2 or 3 times later, they're going to end up giving you a publishing deal where they give you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 up front to make songs just for them. And that's a thing that a lot of artists don't know, that a lot of other artists got signed into a publishing deal just like that, where you guys made really good music. We like you, but your competition, we're just going to have you make songs for us and no one's going to hear from you again. And a lot of times the artists get a fat check, like $1 million or $500,000 or whatever, if it's a whole group, and they'll split that money, but they don't have to really recoup that money back. All they have to do is take that money, write songs, and never release music again. But if that's not what you want to do, that's understandable. You can just sell one song at a time to these publishing companies and get you a fat check, and then take that money and then use that money to blow up. So you got people like The Dream and who was that, Lady Gaga? They was doing that. They were just making songs for other artists, and you never knew that these people were writing the songs for the artists. And all these hit songs that was coming out came from Dream or came from Lady Gaga. And you could tell because as soon as they came out, people who were having hit songs stop having hit songs all of a sudden because they were the artists and they were using the hit songs for themselves. So once you made enough hit songs for other people, you have the money to then make the hit songs for yourself. That's another way to climb your way to the top of music. I mean, it's just a simple thing. It's just like, you sell your music and then you make enough money. And once you have a couple $100,000 in the bank account from selling music, then you make yourself music for yourself, or you hold on to all the best songs you ever made for yourself. And now that you got the budget, you can go in and start pushing it, So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to get money out of music. I mean, I probably gave you like so many different ideas already. So, guys, I just want to tell you guys that, thank you for, subscribing to the channel. So a lot of you, we hit 1,000 subscribers, guys. Yesterday, we hit 1,000. We had 1,000 subscribers. I'm so excited because now we can start the promo. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this partnership with YouTube. I'm making these super long videos so you guys can help me get that watch time up, because once we get the watch time, YouTube is going to shake my hand. We're going to get that partnership, and the money that comes from the channel, we're going to pour that back into the marketing that we do for free. So you guys who were dropping links before in the comments, we put you guys in playlists, and I got my buddies. They might want a couple dollars in their pocket. Well, I'm going to use this YouTube money to grease some pockets and make sure I get these playlists and your songs serviced so you guys can see what kind of work we do. It's kind of a big mass thing, mass discovery. I wanted you guys to know that we actually do this work. And it's kind of hard to get you guys to buy services from us because you guys probably been getting scammed a lot by guys on the internet. And I didn't want to say, hey, just buy my service and then have to, wait for you to actually, decide if you want to use the service. So I just told you, hey, drop the link and we're going to take that link and just service the record for you to start off with. Once you start seeing these plays coming in from Tunehype, then you guys will know that we can actually do the work. And then that's like the whole thing right there. And so if you guys who want to, who didn't know that we were doing that and you listen to it this far, you might as well hit the bell, because you don't want to miss out on any opportunities that comes from A&Rs who they give me, stuff from Sony. They give me, different products to push. And I want to get these out to you guys in a timely manner. I also have a music licensing situation for a major movie called New Jack Era. And you guys can jump on it. I'll leave a link in the description, okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.